Apex's Season 22 gameplay is absolutely insane, and all of the changes that are coming to Apex are crazy, so let's not waste any time and let's talk about it. So the gameplay trailer just dropped, but also a lot of EA creators just released all of their videos sharing all of the early Season 22 gameplay footage. So let's run through everything coming in Season 22. So starting off, we have the dual wield pistols. The P2020 and Mozambique are now going to be dual wield compatible, so you can pick up one, but then you have the option to grab a second, which will convert it into dual wield. They can also appear as a pair on the ground or in loot bins, so sometimes you might just find two Mozambiques together, ready to dual wield, so you're not running around looking for another one. And they just look so cool in dual wield. There's lots of unique animations for them. The running animations, reload animations, all these animations look beautiful, and of course, you'll be dealing a lot of damage with dual wield Mozambiques and P2020s. And also, the P2020 does become automatic when you have it in dual wield. So when you hold down fire with dual wield P2020s, it will alternate between left and right and shoot them really fast, so you can do a lot of damage and you don't need to keep clicking the mouse or pressing the trigger. You can also switch between the option of dual wielding and using one of the weapons. All you have to do is change the fire select and you'll go back to having one of them, which will be able to use its scope. So yeah, crazy. Dual wield pistols are going to be awesome. Now, of course, we have the new map, which we talked about in many of the previous videos. You can see it in the gameplay trailer. It looks beautiful. There's a nighttime skybox and the new map's going to be great. You can watch a lot of other creators play on the new map. I'll leave some links in the description if you want to go and see how it looks, but it's a city style map and it looks great. But on to the gameplay changes. Let's talk about the legends. So there's new buffs for a lot of legends, and I'll be talking about the biggest ones. Starting off, all controller legends have been upgraded so that now they can grab their tacticals from 75 meters range. You no longer have to be right next to your tactical to pick it up. So let's say you're Watson and you have a pylon down. Usually you'd have to be right next to it to interact and pick it up, but now you can do it through walls from up to 75 meters and just grab the pylon by looking at it and interacting, which is great. It will give you your tactical charge back, and this works with Caustic and Rampart and Catalyst. Now with Catalyst, apparently you have to have line of sight. You can't do it through walls, but this is a nice buff for controller legends and their tacticals. But also, there's a brand new controller perk that all controller legends have, where they gain an extra 25 shield capacity while in the zone. So that means if you're playing a control legend and you enter the safe zone, you'll just instantly be granted 25 free shields, and that will be extra shields that if you lose, you can recharge. Let's say you have white armor at the very start of the game and you end up in the first zone, then you'll essentially have blue armor and 75 shields to play with. If you have purple shields, then you'll essentially have red while in the zone. And next up, there's a huge buff to Recon Legends. Now they have the Threat Vision perk. So all Recon Legends will gain Threat Vision while aiming down sight. That means all enemies within your view while aiming down sight will be highlighted in red. Now, this doesn't mean you can see them through walls or if they go in smoke, but it will make it much easier to visualize them. Just like when you're in a Bloodhound duel, it's much easier to see people when they're highlighted in red, and that means Recon Legends are going to have an easier time spotting the rats. Now, since they've got this additional perk, they've also changed the survey beacons. They no longer scan the entire map. Instead, they only scan the area around them, but they're also instant to activate, so it's not too bad. Now, as for some other legends that got amazing buffs, we have to talk about Crypto. Crypto has gained a brand new perk in Season 22 called Off the Grid. Off the Grid is finally in Apex, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what it does. It makes Crypto turn invisible while using his drone. So once you choose this perk, you will be literally invisible while using your drone. It's incredible. Imagine you're getting chased by a team, you just run around a corner, throw your drone, and bam, you've disappeared. You're nowhere to be seen. You're literally off the grid. Now, this isn't extremely overpowered because you can still be scanned by things like Bloodhound tacticals or Seer tacticals, but still, being invisible while on your drone is such an incredible perk to have, and I know Crypto's pick rate is going up just for this. I mean, he's going to be the ultimate rat. You could literally be invisible in the final zone, and if there's no scan legends, you are good. Next up, Watson has some buffs to her perk. One of her perks will now allow her pylon to recharge its health so it can stay up forever. So over time, it will just replenish the pylon's health. Let's say if it's damaged or if you've used it to heal. So you can literally have a pylon if you're locked down in a building that never runs out. She also has another perk that lets her pylon heal super fast, and it is rapid how fast it heals your shield. Now, Caustic also got a quality of life change, so it's easier to identify his barrels. Friendly barrels will now have a green color on the bottom, and enemy barrels will now be red. This is a change people have asked for a long time. Rampart also got a change. Her ultimate now works like Vantage's ult. So instead of having a full ultimate and then just having to fully replenish Sheila before charging another one, instead, once Rampart has her ultimate, which charges super fast, I'm pretty sure it's like 30 seconds, once you have that, you'll then slowly gain ammo for Sheila. And as long as you don't go back down to 0 ammo, you no longer have to wait for your ultimate cooldown again, and you can just balance how you use the ammo. Like with Vantage, you could have 3 bullets, shoot 1, then charge back up to 5 bullets and shoot more. So it's going to be really good. Rampart users will always pretty much have Sheila ready to use. There are plenty more minor legend changes that will show up in the patch notes on August 5th. There's also plenty of weapon changes, but you're probably wondering what the care package weapon's going to be. Well, the R99 has made its way into the care package. That's right, care package R99. It's obviously been nerfed recently, so I'm sure it's being buffed back up to a pretty powerful stage. And speaking of care package weapons, there's now going to be loot bin changes. There's plenty of new loot bins around the map, but also in the middle of the game, all the loot bins will reset, so they'll close and re-loot. So if you're on a POI that's been fully looted, during the middle of the match, you'll get a little message where every single loot bin gets reset with more random loot. There's also 2 new types of loot bins around the map. There's gold and mythic tier loot bins. The gold loot bin will have gold tier attachments like gold helmets and gold backpacks and stuff like that. And the mythic bin, which takes a long time to open, you have to interact with it and stand still while interacting with it to unlock it. And once it opens, then it will have some gold attachments and care package weapons. So that's pretty cool. There's also a big change to gameplay where now everybody will see enemies' health bars when you damage them. So literally everyone has battle sense now. So if you shoot someone, you'll see their health bar for a few seconds. Of course, if they go into smoke and stuff, that will disappear. But that's going to be pretty interesting and pretty weird to get used to. But you'll be seeing people's health bars, which will make fights a lot easier to comprehend and decide what your next move's going to be. There's also a brand new respawn system in the new revival mode. Now, I don't know if this will end up becoming the normal thing in Apex, but this new system basically means that as long as one of your squad mates is alive after you've died, then after a small timer, you'll respawn. And this will stay active until the 4th ring. So having the option to literally respawn as long as your teammate stays safe and doesn't die is going to be pretty interesting in Apex, and not having to use the respawn beacons. And there's also a brand new hop-up making its way to the LMGs in Apex in Season 22 called the Gun Shield hop-up. That's right, a hop-up that's available for all LMGs that gives you a front shield that covers your face. It's a Gibraltar gun shield for LMGs. No matter what legend you are, you can have this. It looks awesome, and it's going to be interesting how the LMG meta evolves from this. And if you are playing as Gibraltar and you use this hop-up, then it will actually just upgrade your gun shield and give it that additional 40 health. So plenty of changes coming in Season 22. Those are some of the biggest and my favorite changes that are coming. There's plenty of videos on YouTube right now of gameplay of this, so definitely check out the links in the description of other great creators playing, and let me know what you're most excited for in Season 22.